No, I had it muted. I was just waiting for the room to be made before muting. Hopefully drafting starts soonish. Do do do. Volume should be alright. Do do do. Yeah. Is your volume on the stream turned up? Turned down? The music is really low, but my voice should be coming through just fine. And anyone else inside of the stream able to hear me just fine? Or am I too low for you guys as well? If so, I will turn it up. Fine. I've forgotten myself as well. Okay, late start. The team at fault will lose 1 ban per 15 minutes of late start. If later than 30 minutes, that game is forfeited and loss accrued. Game 2 start window becomes promptly on forfeit. Bans lost are only enforced during match accrued. So if it does hit the 30-minute delay portion, then game 1 is forfeited, it moves on to game 2 with all bans in effect. I find it kind of funny how it's 1 ban per 15 minutes, but if it's later than 30 minutes, the forfeit. So you could only have 1 ban lost. Only game 1. Apologies everyone for the late start. Hopefully we'll be coming up here shortly. There they are. waiting for draft to start up. Alright. Boomer Squad's first ban was skipped as per the rules. We start off taking a couple mages out. Aurora being a pain in the butt to deal with for a lot of Indians. Not to mention the power of her ultimate, wide range. She's able to prohibit allies from escaping, or enemies from escaping. And getting rid of that there non-interactive dragon B2. Good, good. Boomer Squad opening up with the Amumu first pick. Blue side. Not wanting to deal with Zillion themselves. Opting not to go for the jungler first pick. Or possible jungler first pick. Going for the Varus instead. Flexing either AD carry middle. Not sure if he's still seeing play on top nowadays. Probably not. Those AP nerfs were kinda sad. And then the Sejuani pick afterwards, taking into consideration whether or not they want to carry jungler or not. So yeah, that should be the jungler out of the picture. Or I would assume either side. But I wouldn't be all that surprised if it were to be in a support. Especially with the Ziggs pick. Nasus immediately afterwards. Nerfs have not gone through. Those are projected for the next patch. So his E damage be all still fairly potent. Followed with the Hui pick. Definite powerhouse of a champion on its own. Like Aurelion Soul, possessing the power of many an ultimate inside of his basic. And a slow that makes Zillion blush. Then come the bans, 2 hookers taken out of the picture. From Scorch, while Boomer opts to remove Renata. Zyra. Quite shocked to see Renata taken out. Oh. Scorch looking for a very, social distancing composition. However, opting for the Nami, okay. It could still either be the Varus or Hui down on the bot side at this point. Nami is very versatile ever since they enabled her W. Was it her E? I think it's her E actually. Yeah, the damage and slow application function abilities and not just auto attacks. As there comes the Senna lock with the Ziggs. Not quite sure how I feel about that personally. while Ziggs does have a form of self-heal, both champions are pretty squishy. And whether they go up against Varus or the Hui, any sort of engagement can turn around pretty easily. I would expect both sides to attempt to fight within the mid portion of the lane rather than sieging very much, especially with that Nocturne pick post 6. As the final pick comes into play, covering Aatrox. And locked in. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised nowadays when I see a Nasus that Renekton is seemingly being considered as a pick into, as early game Renekton does have a pretty noteworthy advantage. All throughout the lifespan of the game, it's always been relatively tight between, with a bit of a lead on Renekton's part for the early game. Although later on it becomes a bit tough. However, current state of items, a bit iffy on whether or not that's still the case. Alright, looking at the compositions at hand here. I'm gonna start with Team Scorch. So you got Varus, Hui, Nami. A lot of disengage power, a lot of pick power because of the Hui and Varus. However, Sejuani and Aatrox. And Aatrox is the only champion which Sejuani will be able to have any synergy with for her stun, unfortunately. It might be good enough for them, but we'll see. There is not a lot of dive power from Scorch's end. And what little there may be is a bit centric around, again, more so sieging rather than actually going under the tower. There are no divers on Scorch's end, but they do have a pretty fair distance advantage, as Ziggs is the only one on Boomer's squad that is able to kind of match. However, Senna might be able to, depending on how many stacks she's able to score in lane, which I don't really suspect to be all that high. Alright. And looking at Boomer's squad, there is a fair amount of pick potential just because of Nocturne existing, as well as Ziggs. That's a lot of map presence in general available for them. And Senna, I guess. Like, they could split push. I mean, they could push mid while Susan's pushing top or bot side, and give him all the support he needs if there's like a multi-person gank up on the top end, without really needing to disperse themselves much after that. Just a lot of paranoia to inflict upon Scorch with the press of a button. All the while, Amumu's sitting back there with his powerful engage and disengage power, being able to stop everyone in their tracks due to his ult being upgraded to a stun rather than just a root that blocked auto attacks from being used as it was in the past. Then, bit of a downside is that Ziggs is the only one on Boomer's squad that can actively make use, or reliably make use of Amumu's passive. I guess Susan could as well, but he'd be more for the armor shred than anything. However, it does dissuade, or it does put much less value on Scorch's end for buying magic resist due to Ziggs and someone Amumu being the only threats on that front, which could actually help spike Ziggs' damage even more with the, you know, the Amumu companionship. Not a great word to use for that, but yeah. And then you've got the Armor Shred from Susan, which should be functional for Nocturne, kind of iffy for the Senna. Into a team where they have Sejuani and Aatrox, so there will be at least a bit of durability they'll be working into. Whether or not the Susan will see much value will be depending pretty highly on how much Sejuani is going to be able to propel her team forward. I don't think that Scorch has the ability to sustain themselves if they take a significant loss in the early phase of the game. Considering Boomer Squad has two very heavy scaling champions, well, three very heavy scaling, but Susan and Senna are more dangerous of them. Ziggs is pretty powerful, but it is always a toss-up on just how powerful he will be able to be based off of, you know, landing abilities. You can have 800 AP for all that matter, but unless you have a Lich Bane to threaten people with like 1400 damage autos if they step close to you, you'd better back up your presence with the pressure of death. But Boomer does have diving power, they do have lockdown power. So I feel like it's going to be, the early game is going to be incredibly significant on the outcome here. If Scorch does manage to secure a good early game, I could see them just sweeping through the rest, considering Ziggs is the only reliable stopper to their advance. But time will tell. Got 1 minute left before we head in. So yeah, in terms of team composition predictions, if Scorch wins the early, I project them to win. If they lose the early, I project Boomer to win. However, in terms of who I think will actually be successful in turning over that early game, I want to put it... it's a bit tough. Turning up direct again start. Oh, and I wasn't even paying attention to the fact that it is a laning Nocturne. Susan sitting there in mid. So it's more so the side lanes giving
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Aid to the mid rather than vice versa. Obviously, the directed cam thinks this is important. The joke sound effects spam. Initial trade going into Susan's favor. But did they fix the... Nope. The game still doesn't want me to select certain champions, unfortunately. Alright. So yeah, apologies throughout the match if I'm unable to move my cameras to look at top laners or Hui action in time. There is the nuisance threat of mid lane Susan. It's very similar to Season 7 brand conflagration, except much larger range and additional burn afterwards. Waiting for the mana flow band to come up before casting, gets the hit, gets the Scorch proc. There's Sejuani coming up from behind, looking to punish Susan. Gets hit by the fear, will get locked down by the Sejuani here with that last hit, but will be blocked off by the Amumu, who lands a bandage toss on the minion, flashing for the kill, getting the first blood, but gives up a kill to the Hui. Unsure if that's worth it, considering he just deposited a double buff into Hui's session, which will put a lot of pressure onto Susan. He will have a fair amount for poke still. But fortunately, he was only able to hit a single point into his E due to the engagement that just passed by. Okay, there's his level 4. Mana flow band is off cooldown, but he missed. Gonna be looking for the recall soon. 900 mana. Or not mana, gold. Hold up. What was this? Alright, flashing in towards Chang. Zig's trying to do what he can, but Nami healing as well as the exhaust, watering him down. There comes the barrier. Unfortunately, Zig's using his flash. Senna using her summoner spells for naught. Nice plays from Blair thus far, despite Sejuani giving up the first blood. Did enable Hui to sit in this lane pretty comfortably. Zig's looking a bit of to be a bit of a nuisance towards Boonstra, as Rusty Crow just tried to get a gank mid and was unsuccessful. Hui gonna be looking for the reset here. Victor seems to be putting up a decent front, despite XP disadvantage. They're aware of the ward in the bush. Alright, first item buys. Nasus opting for the Mercury Treads rather than any ability power to help with the shredding of Hui's health. As Amumu does skirt the vision of the control ward. Susan just slowly building up stacks, getting CS. Alright, Sejuani one up top side. Victor will be locked down. Comes flash from the Aatrox. Was that passive proc? Yes, it was. Passive proc for the survival of the Nocturne. Good quick thinking. As Tang goes down below to gank the bot lane. Gonna be getting a bit of damage off. Might turn towards Nami for the kill. Oh! That was pretty cheeky. Tang just taking some XP before heading back to his lane. Get some stacks. Oh. Nope, still not heading back. Okay. Might be giving up a tower plating to Tem here. Almost. Not quite, though. Lands the root. Does not manage to get the stack in time. Sejuani's sitting up around top. Possibly going to be looking for a play down mid. Or for the top side. It's the ping. There is stuff happening down in the bot potentially, but not a great angle to activate Aatrox's grab right there. Bit of a scuffle for vision control down on the bot side. It's on. Nocturne ulting down mid, flash from Hui. And what? Ah, that's right. Hui does have a shield on one of his abilities. Was enough to keep him alive from the Nocturne, unfortunately. Not enough assistance was able to be provided by the Nasus to secure the kill, giving yet another 300 gold deposit into Hui's pockets. The starving artist is the most well-fed on his team. Starving for attention, so... Granted, he's been given quite a bit by his opponents thus far. It's Nocturne sitting up top with no ultimate available to him. He does seem to be comfortably playing aggressive. Does take a tower shot, which prompts Ares to go aggressive onto him. Lands the first Q. Gets a not sweet spot of the second. Totally misses the third, but it's not gonna matter here, maybe? Ah, fear comes off. Hui's probably going to... Alright, gets blocked as well as the first strike. Nearly gets out with his life. Staying a bit out in the open. Does have his ultimate, however, to keep him alive. Attempts to slow Sejuani, but when her passive is on her, can't really do that. Cannot be slowed, cannot be slowed. You can root and stun, but you cannot slow. Hui taking the recall with his teleport back up here in a short bit.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
First tower going down pretty fast, but I guess it is a Zig, so it makes sense. Ah, whoops. A flash to avoid the ultimate from Varus. Well timed. But that ultimate cooldown is not particularly long. Yeah, 90 seconds, and we'll be back up and ready. Any objectives in 90 seconds? Yeah, you got more Void Grubs in 15. Dragon's been up for a little bit here. Actually, none have been taken, so it's been up for quite some time. As they will be getting in position to take these Void Grubs. Place it down to the bot side. Does have teleport to come and assist if needed. While Susan's is about to be up. Senna forced to flash away from the Aatrox as he turns in to Tang. Amu comes in, gets the ultimate. Nami and Varus dead like nothing. as Aatrox gets taken out. And Boomers come away with a very easy victory in that engagement. The power of Ziggs and Amumu. Amumu's base damage values coupled with Ziggs' insane scaling, Luden's revolver. And yeah, I think I saw his ultimate in there too. Was not pretty. But it did put a pretty penny into Ziggs' pouch, granting him some Sork boots, finally, for his effort. As Chengi about to die here, getting locked down. There comes the Sejuani ult, Nami ult to take the kill, unfortunately. Did you need 3 ultimates for the enemy support? Probably not. She had no flash either, so. As the first dragon will be going to Scorch, as Aatrox is fighting Ziggs up here, does get caught in the return. Q3 lands. Flashes over the last of the bombs to get the normal attack for the passive application, and last hit onto the Ziggs for 550 deposited into his wallet. And we was spotted out on vision, or at least pathing directions. Can't go to the doctor quickly enough. Go to taking his sideline, does have teleport up once again to provide support wherever need be. Might want to shift to leaning mid, however there is the Sejuani there to catch him while he is attempting to do so. Does avoid the latter portion of the W? Yeah, E is the stun, W is the flail. And he gets away to safety. As Susan's just sitting back there comfortably in mid. We do see a play going on towards top, possibly a dive here. Level 10 Aatrox. Amumu coming in from behind. Paranoia followed by Q and ultimate. Last hit going to the Senna. Ooh, Susan being chased by 2. Boonstra does have his ultimate still. Lands 2 passives there. Does not shoot off his ultimate before dying, as Hui will take 1. Will he get another? Nope. Peng gets away to safety. That is a 1 for 2. Although I guess it's a 1 for 1 with a single kill on the side. Aatrox going down to try and put a stop to the Nocturne's push. Or down. Are they going to be getting the Ziggs here? The root goes into play, dodges the bouncing bomb, however. Ziggs successfully avoids the fear from Hui. That will not be enough, however, as Rusty Crow does survive with a couple hundred health left over. And not much else there to see. Aatrox pushing side lane again. Take a look at the gold. Hui doing well still, sitting on 4 kills. 0 deaths. Gonna start accruing a notable bounty here in a bit. See how many stacks Nasus has. Nearing 200. Not sure if that's good. At 18 or 15 minutes. It wouldn't be good if it were 18 minutes. That at least. Varus really hoping to get that level 11 soon, but he's got 2 levels to pass through in full. Nocturne working his way up, can't snap to him though. Does see the ward, wants to go and try and take it out. Sometimes suicide missions, sometimes freebies. New attempts for the dive with Sejuani sitting right there. Doesn't land it, but does take a lot of hurt. Will get hit by the tendrils for the kill going to Boonstra. Boomers will disengage here. 10 and Tang once again battling up on the top side. Long range missile hitting them, but not for very much. You know, with his very high resistances of 70. Vision Wars just taking place over here in mid. Dragon will be coming up in 30 seconds. There is a bit of vision inside of the enemy's side for Boomers, a bit of it being taken out. As Nami is working her way towards the center of the map. Gonna have to start establishing vision here in a bit if you actually want to contest this here dragon. 2,000 gold difference in Boomer's advantage at the moment. Nami trying to go for some single play towards Changi. Here comes the Nocturne ultimate onto the Nami, who will flash. Will she get the tidal wave off in time? Runs away. They seem to be in an alright spot. Here it comes, a bit late, unfortunately, as Aatrox met his untimely demise. And this dragon looks like it will be going towards Boomers. Tang getting caught inside of the CC chain. Losing a bit, about half of his health from that. Health still ticking down for whatever reason. Ooh, that Ziggs damage going mighty fierce. The Luden's revolver, or Luden's companion, helping a bit with that. Pull down back up, should be able to take out that caster with cannon. As the top laners engaging each other down in the bot again here, shortly perhaps. Got a bit of confusion over which lane each person wants to be. Sway is working his way back. He bought anti-heal. Not quite sure. Ah, that's for the Senna, that's right. She doesn't have any heal or shield boosting items at the moment. Honestly, it's a bit weird to me that Echoes of Helia does not amplify healing and shielding. Let's actually see how much value there is. Okay. Around 500 damage and 100 something damage with 500 healing. The healing is a bit easier to get off on certain champions. By that I mean the damage is easier to get off on others. Oh wait, I should probably look at Senna stacks. 63. Susan almost at 300. Gone up over 100 in the past 5 minutes, roughly. As here comes a siege in the mid lane. That is an on-hit Varus, so his ability to protect from sieges is a bit weak. There's the Crash's way is working his way down. He does have teleport, however. We ride in the Herald. Does not manage to crash, but has a good position for his ultimate. There comes the Senna ult with the Ziggs ulti to nuke that Nami, as Senna will be going down shortly after the flash. Aatrox coming in, will be feeding off of the Susan, but not quite enough. As that Warden Mail putting in the ward. Nah, it didn't work. As Team Scorch will be taking a recall. Let's see the value from the Echoes that fight. About 70 healing and 30 damage. Any on the anti-healing? Not very much. I don't think I saw shift much at all, really. The Amumu ultimate followed by the Ziggs and Senna ults is one of the most devastating things that Scorch can find themselves caught in. And it's happened at least twice at this point. Might have missed it once. Fair chunk of damage being thrown onto the Sejuani. No jungle camps there to help her generate it a bit easier. Positioning for an Aatrox pick. Running out, they see what's coming up. Stridebreaker given a bit of slow, however tries to E away. Not gonna get out. As this might actually be inner tower taken out. They do have a few minions to work with. Especially if Nocturne takes a hit or two. As Ziggs is there for the satchel charge. Nice push. Susan just putting on a lot of pressure towards the side lanes, making it difficult for Hui to be anywhere but, because if he is anywhere but, Susan can bonk those towers pretty hard. 477 damage at the moment, thanks to his stacks. Does have Trinity Force, so even a bit more than that per hit on the tower. Leave him alone and he'll take your base. Eventually. Ooh, Sejuani. Attempted pick. Dragon is up. Oof. Here comes another engagement. Nasus is not here. Here comes the Nocturne ultimate. 3 lockdown with the Amumu. There comes the Ziggs ult right on top of Varus. Amumu will be taking a lot of hit. Flashes out for safety as Victor is far in the back. Aatrox will go down as there's still a lot of focus on to Victor here. Calico getting caught out by the Susan, losing almost half of her health to a single Q. Will go down. Tem taking a devastating hit from the Ziggs' bouncing bomb. Yeah, Boonstar, you might want to walk back there. Once you're behind the towers and you have tier 2 boots, it's a bit faster than recall. Much safer too. Yeah, there goes the Chemtech Dragon. Second dragon for Boomers. It's a Rusty Crow going for Victor, who does not manage to successfully proc the Spell Shield boost. Alright, looking at gold differences. Almost 6,000 gold lead for Boomers. We are well past the mid game at this point, heading into late, or more so mid-late. They have done well for themselves. Senna stacks are a bit lacking. Susan stacks are just getting higher and higher as time goes on. Good for them, good for them. Ziggs is becoming a bit of a powerhouse. Hui is doing alright. But even performing as well as he is, or as well as he is still very vulnerable to a dive by... actually, nah. Nocturne's going Bruiser, not Assassin at the moment. So I don't see him being able to take Hui in engagement. Oh, got 4 people trying to get a pick on Susan up there. Get some vision on your side, boomers. You have no idea where they are. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Ah. Boomster left. Ah, yep, there comes the play onto the Susan. Here comes the Paranoia to disorient, followed by Teleport. That is quite the way to go in with Nocturne. As he will get the kill onto the Varus, there goes the Aatrox shortly afterwards. Tem and Calico not able to provide any support, as Twitch, with his Luden's companion, will pick up that kill off of Sejuani, leaving Baron open it as a very free take, even with Hui there. You have no ultimates, however. Zig should be able to zone him out. Satchel charge. Ult from Hui comes out, but misses everyone. Nami bubble also misses everyone, as Amumu successfully secures the Baron. Here comes the reset. Gold gap widening even more, nearing 10k. Got about 1,000 more gold onto Ziggs from the last fight. Very funny, but well played ultimate from Nocturne during that fight. Proving that he does have a global ultimate, so long as there's a ward. Or global recast of his ultimate, I should say. Alright, here comes the next push. Hui and Varus going to be struggling for clearing waves. He needs Ziggs to be able to apply pressure in the front. Moo there to prevent counter pressure from any gauge attempts looking on. Sejuani can't really do anything to the Nocturne up and top side, so Aatrox moving his way there. Susan's pushing his way bot. You're going to have to learn to split your forces very well here. Alright, you got 4 looking towards mid. Hui moving back towards the Nasus. Willingly giving up those minions for a bit of damage on that mid tower. Sejuani taking a bit of hurt. His Nocturne rotating back to the top side. Doesn't really matter where he is at this point, considering his ultimate's range should almost span towards the bot side. If he just had one more level, he should be able to, however. Nearing that level 16. And Nasus will successfully take that tower. Amumu ultimate coming up when... Ah, it already came up. Amumu dead. Here comes the Nocturne. Will secure a kill onto the Nami. Hui still not dead yet this game. Aatrox coming in with the ultimate. Will be going on to the Nocturne, who will be working to disengaging rather than confronting. That seems to be his entire goal when dealing with the Aatrox at this point, because he is a tank. He just wants to divert any of the sustain. Aatrox will be trying to push forward. Very nice use of the champion in those instances. Dragon number 4 is going to see some contesting. Scorch here on their bit over 10k gold deficit. Got that speed boost as they're running on in. Amumu's not there to help out though. Hui trying to recall to stop the Susan. Not going to be permitted to do so, as Nasus will be taken on the fight. However, Hui's teammates are moving in. Or that's Nocturne. Or yeah, Nasus is on the base. Nocturne is on the Hui. Varus trying to recall. Will pull it off to stop Nasus' advance. Aatrox coming in from the rear. Not sure if he wants to quite do that. Bit of a shield applied to Aatrox there from the Sterak's, and he will be running out. Might just want to take that wave and proxy it, but otherwise can't really do too much. You're not going to be permitted to recall at this point. As the towers are going on like nothing, that is the power of Ziggs and Susan, and that will be GG for Boomers. Alright, quick peek at the damage and gold charts at the end. Ziggs being an absolute powerhouse with output, thanks to the Amumu ultimates giving him Avenue. Nasus not really doing that much in damage, but he was effective in most everything else. Nocturne getting a lot of crowd control score thanks to his ultimate. As you can see, very exceptional contributions towards all members of both teams here, neck and neck. As game 2 will be starting up here shortly. Just gonna be waiting on that next match to be created there. As expected, early game went away from Team Scorch, and there was not really much recovery from that. Nasus is a bit too hard of a force to bleed through. And with Nocturne building for survivability, there wasn't much avenue of Aatrox taking any sort of dominant phase. The fear provided from Nocturne just denying Aatrox from being able to go and become a monster in any sort of fight. Sitting there 1 in 6, very unfortunate. A lot of good gold funneling, however. At the very least, you did get it where you needed to have it. The most unfortunate part for Team Scorch in terms of the early phase was the Nami getting the kill, and having 3 ultimates devoted towards Chengi when it occurred, rather than providing it to the Hui. I think there were some. I don't think there was much value gotten from the Sejuani during that match. Like, she does have a bit good survival and ability to distance herself from the Nasus due to the slow protection, same thing with Ziggs. But only one other melee to work alongside. It's a bit sad to deal with. And it looks like they are swapping sides, so when the draft begins, I'm gonna have to take a bit of a monologal pause to fix up the side screen. So I can do it right now. Yeah, the top laner's going. Top laner's going mid lane is always painful because their durability and sustain is built for an entire ball game entirely. And when they also have easy poke to lean on. Alright, the draft started. Alrighty. Alright, and yes, it looks like Scorch will be opting for blue side this game. You got the Aurora in Ziggs ban into the Ari, and yet again Zillion. Smolder to finish it off. They didn't like the power of the Ziggs. They'd like to not see a Zigzamumu thing happen again, but I think there are other options for that. Oh, nope, there is the Amumu ban. Are we gonna see a Jarvan perhaps instead? Old reliable. As first pick this time around, last game the first pick went to Amumu, if I recall, for Boomer Squad. As Scorch wants to rely on the Hui pick. Are we gonna see another mid lane Nasus? Varus and Maokai. Huh. Not sure how I feel about Maokai at such an early point in the picking phase at this point. But he does work well with Varus, so long as he doesn't Q too early. There comes the Ashe pick, which I'm assuming was selected for the kiting potential, but Maokai's Twisted Advance, or no, that's his W. I forget what his ult is called. But Maokai's ultimate will kind of not really care about Ashe's volleys, but I guess throw in Sejuani and that is a bit more slowing. Oh no. Yep, there is the Sejuani lock. Okay. Xin Zhao would have been a bit dangerous to pick for Scorch, even though he has the ultimate to, you know, protect himself from distant enemy damage. It doesn't really stop the crowd control effects coming onto him outside. Like someone made 3 seasons ago. And there is the Susan lock for the end of the first pick round of game 2. Will we be seeing Susan versus Hui mid yet again? Will Hui have learned from his mistakes? Will Susan capitalize off those mistakes even harder? We shall see. Is Scorch going to be aiming for 2 melees this time around instead of 1? They think they've still got it in the bag. Actually, it could still be a bot lane Hui with support Ashe. We'll see. Bans come out. Nocturne is out. Senna is out. As is Nami and Zyra. Did they... Yeah, there's no Renata ban this game, so... But I don't think they would really want Renata in this match anyways. There do be the Thresh. And what could they even answer with here? That is a very strong pick setup for Boomer Squad. Like, insanely strong pick setup. They're locking in Brand, but Brand doesn't really work all that great into shielding and healing. So, there it is. with the Cassante lock for the top, and we might see, what, a Fiora Camille maybe? For counter pick? We'll see. Milla. Is that a mid lane Varus? Top lane Susan? Milla pick, or actually, yeah, it would have been a top lane Milla. Which I've seen her work insanely well in top versus Shen in ranked games in the past. Which I don't understand. I'm assuming it lets her normal attack bypasses dodge. Like a glitch or something. Probably not. Who knows? Lethal tempo OPO. But yeah, there is the Trundle pick, however. I would assume Trundle works pretty well into Cassante. Alright, team analyses. I will say it right here that I think Boomer has the better team. While Varus is the only carry champion they have available to them, they do have a lot of pick potential. Like, an insane amount of pick potential. Maokai, Thresh, and Trundle. Like, the troll pull in itself will basically guarantee at least 1 or 2 people will be locked down by Maokai's ult anytime they go on. Then Thresh is just there to kind of, separate the pack if needed. The damage in the bot lane matchup is... I need to see who is actually going to be the bot lane set up for Scorch. Because if it's Hui and Brand bot, then they might have a decent chance in the bot lane, but if it's like Ashe and Brand, then I would still put the bot fight favor into her squad. Second. I play a mute thing on my Twitch audio. Okay. It is Hui mid again. So we will be seeing Ashe and Brand bot. The saving grace for Ashe Brand bot is that is a lot of like slows and the stun to deal with. But Thresh has a lot more upfront damage. If either Ashe or Brand get caught, they're essentially dead. Like, there is no surviving that without third-party interference. But with Maokai's existence, compounded with the Thresh, that's just incredibly hard to survive for them. If it's, the other way around. However, the top lane, it's not as bad as it was last game for Team Scorch. Like, Nocturne got some very close escapes. Might be a bit easier to avoid such escapes happening this time, since Sejuani can ignore the troll pull. Actually, not sure if his pillar would break her passive. It probably would if he cast it directly onto her. But the slow immunity would still be on. And I don't think Cassante would be able to go over. They'd probably use it to distance on something. But let me swap. Mid lane matchup. It's going to basically be who learned the matchup better, and whoever learned it better will win. In terms of phases of the game, the early game I would put towards Boomer Squad. If Boomer Squad wins this game, I would say, is more volatile for Boomer Squad than it was for them last game. Like, they're basically in Team Scorch's position this time around, where if Boomer Squad has a bad early, then Scorch should be able to get away with this pretty easily. But once late game swings around, I don't see Scorch being able to like come back. So you definitely want a mid game win for Scorch yet again. You don't want to let this get away from you. And it's going to be a bit tough to do so. Will be paying attention to bot lane as much as I can this time around. This last time there was a lot more focus on mid. Any outside thoughts on how this game may end up going? Agree with me, disagree with me? Feel that Cassante and Sejuani just provide a lot of value to Trundle. And regardless of Varus going AD on hit or AP build or whatever, Nasa's Armor Shred will once again take care of anyone be taken care of. Maokai and Thresh will perform exceptional jobs at killing. Trundle also will help with shredding anyone that comes to the front line. As the game will be loading. Starting off with directed cam yet again. Looking to run straight down mid, probably going to go for early tower damage. Let's see. Visual effects of Zombie Brand make me sad as they are now. They were so much better before.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Oh, already got that insane lead. Alright, so yeah, I can't snap to the Nasus this game. As I will let directed cam take the reins for a bit here. Two hits. That's a big start. A ward was placed on Sejuani's blue. Unfortunate. Victor taking a bit of a trade. Tem taking a lot more punishment than last game already. Both junglers going to be pathing towards the bottom side of this map at this point. There come the pings. Going, yo, be careful. Enemy jungler is going to be right here at the moment. We'll be working our way towards the bot side with Maokai possibly getting a counter gank. Ares does not manage to clap bundle there. Time to look back at mid lane. There comes the slow from Boonstrong to Chang'e. Play does not come out quickly enough. Chang'e flashes away, does get the hook onto Sejuani under tower. Kill going to Bori. Wonderful first job. First blood, not first job. Yeah, Tem not taking the laning very well this time around. Unfortunately, no double buffs provided to him. Very short Pillar of Flame. Still so weird to me that they gave away an ability to just turn mana to himself. And not nuke his mana regen in exchange. Maokai looking for a flash route, maybe? No, he doesn't have flash. He doesn't have flash. Sejuani going bot again. Moving up behind, there is no ward. But nothing gonna come of it. Another hook coming from under tower, this time onto Brand, but not gonna do anything of it. As Tem getting dove by Maokai and Susan there. Flashes away. Escape being cut off by Maokai. Is he gonna get out? Spear hitting. And there is the final hit. Just had to wait for the cooldown. But flash for flash plus a kill. And Hui's flash is a lot more important to him than Nasus's. Maokai is delaying Nasus's back at this point, but they do get a flash out of it. His ultimate is ready. There is the lantern. He is out. Got 1,500 gold to go back on. What's he gonna be waiting for here? Taking the cannon, and there should be his recall. Top side looking okay. Varus going all sneaky peeky like. Not level 6 though. Just a bit of poke. Susan coming in with Merc Treads yet again alongside a Ruby Crystal. Moving in towards the grubs at this point. Thresh is coming in too, but not really going to be there in time to contest more than just the single one. Just a bit of damage. Ooh. Would have been a nasty hook if Thresh accounted for the blast cone. Probably wouldn't have killed still, but would have done a lot. Ooh. Honestly, Ashe is in a pretty precarious spot down here. Level 5, no ult, low mana. There's level 6, but Varus does have ult and cleanse available to him. You gonna stop that? No. They just want the plates. Yeah. Oh, that was close. Maokai coming in from behind. There comes the ultimate there now from the Trundle. So much health gain. That is insane. 49 every tick. But Cassante doing Cassante things, abilities resetting for some reason upon ult. Fun, fun. Sejuani working on Dragon. Probably gonna be going free. Yep. Honestly, not quite sure why the Varus and Thresh are playing so safe at the moment. Brand is only level 5, no access to his ultimate. Ashe ult coming in, but she is stranded. Twisted advance from the Maokai as Brand gets caught out from the side. Will flash over the wall to safety, 300 health. Probably going to be recalling here. Safe thing to do. As a plate or two will be going to the bot lane on Boomer Squad. Only one plate. Susan recalling with 1400 mana. First item on route. Not want Trundle to reset. Fan of the pillar. A lot of gold to recall on 2K. Sunfire working toward. There be the Merc Treads. Merc Treads are useful against Cassante because they mitigate both his slow as well as the stun that comes after the knockup from his Q3. Fear doing work. Nice dodge of the Seer from Susan and of the Sejuani ult. Oh, fancy feet over here. Flash ult from Varus and the death sentence from Thresh. Missing only for the Ashe arrow to land. Kill going to Brand. Straight piercing shot goes on to Hui. But Susan going down as well. 3 kills for Varus at this point. Hui got 2 deaths. Complete turnaround from last match. A solid early game thus far from Boomers. No map objectives other than tower plates, but holding strong. Opportunist first, interesting, probably for the move speed, I guess. Oh, what is that?
Yeah, Trundle ult to get out. Ashe spotting out the Thresh. Did not see the Maokai, however. Does have another Hawkshot charge. Definitely saw the golems at that point. Aww. Playing with fire. Maybe he didn't see the golems there. There's the brand caught. Death sentence coming up in a sec. There it is. Giving the kill to Varus for Bread Team's double kill. That was unfortunate. I thought for sure that Boonstra noticed that the Krugs were not in their camp, despite the map icons saying that they were alive. Susan avoiding the Ashe arrow. Thresh almost getting hit by the Ashe arrow. So she's gonna be a bit vulnerable for like, what, 45 seconds? Let's see if I was right about that. Oh, a bit longer than 45, like 30 seconds longer. The next dragon, Infernal, coming up in 5 seconds. Trap being laid out. Or, not really a trap, just vision. Sejuani opting for Rift Herald in the trade. Cassandre trying to fight the Trundle, but I'm not really sure that he would actually win a fight between the two. Just saying, sitting on his ultimate, and that ultimate is basically kryptonite for Cassandre. There comes the old 1-2. He did ult, but there wasn't much health gain coming from that. Odd. Maokai not in vision, setting up from Raptor Pit. Does have his ult. In comes the Sejuani, out goes the Maokai ult. Ashe gets locked down, almost landed on by the death sentence. Sway and Susan having a bit of a trade here. Susan at 186 stacks, so he is a bit, just slightly ahead of where he was last game. Got his Trinity Force. Doesn't find Hui to be a threat, so getting cloth armor next. Ashe arrow missing. Rusty Crow peeking on down by the side. Pings out there. They know that someone's there, but not quite who. Chang'e out. A lot of stuff missing as he flashes. Not going to be rooted. I think the Trundle is working. Not sure. Ooh, Hui's caught out. Does get the fear off, however. Mid lane tower close to going down at this point. Nice. Maokai coming up the side once again. They get question mark pinged. Spotted by the control ward. Nothing happened between the Hui and Nasus still. 230 stacks. Doing well. Boonstra not feeling safe to crash the wave. Ash Arrow lands. Sejuani ult comes in. A lot of other abilities miss, as well as Sejuani's Q. Wither does nothing to her, as he will go down to the brand. And what happens up here? Gets caught out on his recall, rooted by the Varus. A lot of damage coming in from said Varus. There comes the WQ for a massive chunking. Thresh gets the final hit. Honestly, kind of fun. Might get tower from that. Alright, trying to make macro plays here. No bounties up though, unfortunately. Cassante's back up. Gonna be able to start contesting Trundle here soon. Maokai ult coming down to stop the Sejuani, who flashes out. Use over the wall. Is there going to be any opposition to stop her? Not with the direction she's running. Varus and Thresh back out. Did do quite a number to that mid tower, however. I think he got the small one, too. Ash Arrow going far. Gonna walk right into Cassante there. Flash out. Cassante does have flash as well, but eh. They did get a flash, but they did use an arrow. All ults are up for Boomers. Trundle's still pushing that top end. Susan coming to help with this fight, sitting at almost 300 stacks. All four stacked on top of each other. Brand taking the front. Oh, that is yet another strong hit. His ultimate on cooldown. Hui. Ult doing a bit of a number.
Red team has slain the dragon.
Brat's second Drake, or well, third Drake going to Boomers. Yet again, racking up their own lead, moving towards the back end of mid-game here. Should be able to bring it in for a close here soon. .79 armor standing on that field. That should be fine. Ultimate lands onto the brand just barely. Sejuani goes down immediately afterwards, providing to a free Baron. Hui being told to push as Nasus is heading around the side there. Gonna be looking for a kill. Oh, that is a lot of hurt. Oh. Nasty. Get those stacks. Get those stacks. You know, would Nasus work well with Malignants? Once he gets his tankiness up to a certain point? Like, I know he could possibly, or, yeah, the Juggernaut one instead might actually be a bit better since it provides move speed. Now that I think about it, I was trying to figure one or the other because he doesn't really have much of a need for attack speed. Oh. No targets in between the Ashe and the Varus, so the damage was massive. Ashe arrow goes wide yet again. Rusty Crow getting blocked by the Maokai. Brand ult being exceptionally ineffective, as is routine. Cassante coming from behind. Bori dodges Hui by chance. Makes his way out. Hui having to rotate back to bot to prevent Nasus's advance yet again, as this mid lane inner tower should be down. Trundle and Cassante fighting. Sejuani coming up down the side. A lot of damage going out towards the Trundle. Is he out? Is he out? Is he out? Yes, he is! Just barely. Unfortunate death sentence. A lot of hurt. Nearly died to the Maokai ult. There goes the Ashe arrow yet again. Will land this time, but no follow-up. Sejuani from the rear. Varus ult comes out, and a nuke towards the Hui will take Thresh out for Cassante, however, as one by one boomers going down. However, Trundle and Nasus are here. Hui in danger, taken out by a hail of arrows. Ashe trying to kite Nasus, but not really going to be able to when you have 10 move speed. Huh, she did actually get out. Had flash used for it, however. One inhib down, one inhib exposed. Dragon up in less than 15 seconds. Big time reset. Varus sitting on 2,000 gold. Nasus on 3,000. What are you going to be buying with that, dude? He does have teleport, yeah? Yeah. Trundle just exists. Maokai is an ult machine. Varus just sweeping everything up. About 300 per auto. Ability's doing much more, and they will be doing a lot more. Alright, well actually they are doing a lot right now because of those changes they gave him for whatever reason. I really don't understand why Riot wants to keep pushing hands-off playstyles. It's weird. Flashed away nearly out of the hitbox of the Maokai ult. But that is a very important ability down. Ashe ult comes out, hits the Maokai. Lantern gets him to safety. Sejuani moving in, lost the slow immunity now. Varus ult comes out. How many more will he trigger on? WQ back up. Just a hail of volleys coming at him, but that won't really stop the Cassante from going all ham to him. Trundle will be taking out that second inhibitor here, backing off with Hui and Ashe on his rear. That fight Well, Scorch did get more kills that fight than Boomers. However, well, and they got a pretty substantial bounty, but it went to Cassante. However, they did lose another inhibitor, which makes it substantially more difficult for them to put pressure onto, or to counter the pressure onto Baron. If they linger too long, they'll lose their base. And... okay, Trundle's out. So if they linger too long at Baron, they lose base. But if their splitters do not teleport back to assist with the Baron, then it's just wasted. It's just going to be very, very tricky stuff from this point on. However, this could swing to a complete and total victory by Scorch if all goes well. Nasus is in a bit of a bind. He will be getting out. Varus ultimate and piercing arrow both missed, however. Unfortunate. Both teams trying to push towards that. Very dangerous, however, for Scorch. You see, that's going to be 2 waves of super minions stacked right now. If Boomers wanted to win this, they just need to keep pressuring. And then send Nasus down to teleport, or... yeah, Nasus does have teleport. He's pushing that top wave. He could just TP down below. Like, this is not Scorch's ball field right here. Alright, Hui is recalled. This is when you can start taking Baron, because they cannot contest. Scorch cannot contest at this point. The tower took a bit of hurt, and there's going to be yet another wave closing in. Nasus is putting plenty of pressure up top, doesn't really have to. Sejuani seems to be looking for a steal, or just be somewhat of a distraction, as well as the Cassante, doing what they can to the Trundle. Are they going to be getting... not stalling it the way that they need to. Varus is going to be taking a lot of damage from this. Unfortunate. Oh no. That is insanely unfortunate. Boomers got sidetracked. They shifted their focus over to Sejuani rather than helping their Varus out of the situation with the Cassante, putting the frontal pressure towards Baron. The frontal pressure being much more important because he is towards your DPS. This is going to give Scorch a very clear avenue back into the game. That extremely messy play, very unfortunate for Boomers. Extremely fortunate for Scorch, however. Getting a lot of gold. Varus is still plenty ahead. Nasus has a lot on him as well, but not much is seemingly going to be coming up of it. I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like Leandries wouldn't be a bad route for Nasus to be going towards at this point, because there isn't much magic resist on Scorch's end, and they do have 2 tanks. Heck, he could even go Rylai's and do fine. Well, kind of fine. It'd be really painful for Ashe, Brand, Hui to deal with, but Maokai can kind of cover that sort of... oh, teleport coming in from Trundle. That is very iffy. Double hard CC lockdown. Varus ult coming onto the Sejuani. Not really going to land, but the follow-up cooldowns are quite long as well. There is a Sej and Cassante coming in from the rear. Trundle does not have ult, but Nasus is going wild on Scorch's backline. Hui taking a lot of hurt from Trundle himself. It's like they figured out after seeing Varus die so many times to Cassante to sneak around their back end, and they can't live, as this looks like it will be a game end for Boomers. They do have a super minion closing in. Inhibs are both going to be going down. Honestly, pretty crazy that there's super minions coming in despite the inhib having come up just now. Looks like they will be going for the ace. Brand is coming up, but it's not really going to matter as the Nexus will go down, and that will be a 2-0 for Boomer. Check my notes. Boomer squad. Congratulations, Boomer squad, on your victories. Exceptionally well played early and mid games both. Yeah, sorry about that. Very good game from Boomers. It got. There was a really huge misplay during the Baron attempt, which stalled the game less than I thought it would. Thanks to the backline assault from Trundle and Nasus at that Raptors fight. But, yeah. Otherwise, it was exceptionally well played. Cassante tried doing what he could, but it wasn't quite good enough. There were a lot of missed Ash arrows, which were unfortunate. The the Ash getting caught out at not spotting the Maokai at Krugs was unfortunate. Exceptionally good funneling of gold towards Varus. He's gotten a crazy amount of damage output from it. Victor, both game 1 and game 2, doing very well, holding himself in the top side of the map, being more of a nuisance to his opponent more than anything, and making it hard for any progress being made by Cassante in any form of macro on the map. Same deal with Nasus, able to just put so much pressure that you can't really contest with a single champion at a point. The hard magic resist stacking in a very early state as a champion that has so much innate lifesteal, thanks just as passive alone, is so painful to deal with. Once again, I don't think the Sejuani worked out very well for Team Scorch, unfortunately. As noted, the Ash arrows kind of went wide pretty often. Brand took several kills, or both the Brand's kills were potential toss-ups that Wei could have nabbed, but I don't think it would have made too much of a difference. He might have gotten Void Staff earlier, but he probably should have gotten Void Staff earlier, considering how often and how early Susan got their map resist item. But it's not like it really would have made too much of a difference if he gets close to Nasus. Once he has a suitable amount of stacks regardless, there's just not going to be any getting away from mobile after all. Even if he does have that self-move speed boost that he can utilize, Wither does a lot more for a lot longer. Alright, that will be the end of the stream here. Thank you everyone for stopping by. Once again, congrats to Boomer Squad for their 2-0 victory over Team Scorch. This was Arpai's Spies doing your casting, and hope everyone has a fantastic night. Bye!